Hello my friends, today I'm doing another video on the Genmitsu CNC. If you watched my video from last week, I showed you how I made this ring holder, and this week I'm trying something new with the Genmitsu RENO 440 again. So as you can see, it's a keepsake box that you can store gift cards or business cards or anything 3x5 should be able to fit in this box, because that was the dimension I chose for this one. So let's take a look. I'm using easel again. Like I said in my previous video, it is easy to design in easel. I would say this time I did run into an issue with carving. For some reason I can't figure out why I wasn't able to set the Z probe. I ended up just doing it manually, as you would see in the video. That's something I'll have to do some research. If you know how to resolve that, please leave me a comment about it, but I intend to do some research on it this coming week. But however, I was still able to get it to work. So as I mentioned, I'm using the manual process to confirm where the carving should start. Basically, I use the manual knob at the top of the Z axis to bring down the bit until it touches the board, and then just follow the prompts on the screen there. And like I said, I got it to curve. There's still some part of it that I didn't understand, that I'll still have to do some research. So one thing I would say, if you are a beginner just like myself, this requires a lot of patience. It took me about a couple hours to get it going, and I had to set it to home, try to figure out what was going on. It requires a lot of patience because there is a learning curve. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Be patient with yourself and allow yourself to learn as you go. Otherwise, it might be a good idea to just find someone who knows what they're doing and learn from them. If it's something you just want to figure out as you go, then you're going to need a lot of patience with it. That's just my advice. When the carving was completed, I removed it from the CNC and used the bandsaw to trim out the excess material, and then got it down to the shape of the keepsake box. Please feel free to click the subscribe button and join this community. We want to grow this community into one that will help beginners build the confidence needed to do woodworking and DIY in general. Thank you. Now it was time to just sand it down to smoothen the edges and give it some rounded edges. And then I did some more sanding by hand with 100 grit, and then finished off with 1500 grit to just make sure it's really smooth. And then I just use special walnut to stain it and wipe the excess stain of it. And that was it. Like I said earlier, just be patient with yourself with learning how to use a CNC. Once you start making items with it, you will feel a lot relieved. But take your time, learn as much as you can. If you can find someone who already knows how to use this and is willing to teach, I would say go ahead and learn from them. I like figuring out how things work and work them. But good luck, and I wish you all the best. Thanks for watching the video. If you have not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, and share it with someone else who might find value in the video. Thank you.